As far as my questions, I'm going to start off with Mr. Carroll. I recently toured the Drug Enforcement Administration of Milwaukee. We were told in the most recent year, and it's not the calendar year or the fiscal year, just a rolling 12-year amount, that we're up to 90,000 deaths on overdose of illegal drugs. Is that true, you think?
That's what I've heard publicly reported as well. There were, at about a 90,000 fatal overdose rate.
Really high. And at least I was told we had 540 last year in Milwaukee County alone. And at least the officer I talked to felt it's possible that either the drug or the ingredients for the drug, all 540, could have come across the Mexican border. Is that your experience?
I think it's overwhelmingly, what's happening is that there really is no domestic production of illicit fentanyl taking place in the U.S. at all. The law enforcement here in the U.S. have been good to make sure that hasn't occurred.
Yeah, so 540 in Milwaukee County alone, that's kind of amazing. I'm going to ask you, I always kind of wondered what would happen as marijuana became legalized in the country. And while I'm not for legalization, I felt that maybe a benefit is we'd have less gangs, less, as things became legalized, you'd have less of a black market, less gang problems. I talked to the Border Patrol agents and I talked to DEA. They have both felt, and I want to get your opinion, that the opposite is what happened. As marijuana became no longer profitable to bring across the southern border, as I understand it, because the quality of marijuana grown in the United States is superior, the drug gangs, who have to make their money somewhere, are increasing the amount of fentanyl and other stronger drugs coming across the border. Is that your experience or not, or can you comment on that?
It's certainly true that fentanyl has skyrocketed in terms of being brought into this country. The other thing that's really concerning is the stimulants, the methamphetamine and cocaine that are being brought in higher and higher numbers also across the border. For people that have an opioid addiction, there are medication-assisted treatment drugs that can help them through this. But for methamphetamine, there really is not a direct.
I guess the question I'm saying, do you believe one of the reasons the gangs are increasing the amount of fentanyl and other stronger drugs across the border is because there's no longer money to be made bringing marijuana across the border?
I think they'll make money any way that they can, and they don't care about the consequences. I think they can make more money on fentanyl because it's easier to produce. It doesn't take as long. You can get higher quantities in, and they don't care about smuggling in children or other people, and they'll do anything they can to make a buck, and they don't care about the repercussions. And marijuana is still being brought, into the country, but it does appear that it's not as much.